It's Fans Corner. Welcome to it, and thank you once again for making time for our post-match reaction here on Fans Corner. We've just watched the last of the quarterfinals of the MTN 8 between Mamelodi Sundowns and Polokwane City down at Lucas Muripe Stadium. Not the best of attendance in terms of the crowd there in Atteridgeville. We know Sundays are not known for their a good crowd attendance. We understand it's in South African context. It's always been that way. We hope to improve in order to reclaim our glory days in terms of South African football. Now, getting onto the game itself, we saw it wasn't the most free-flowing of football that we know from Mamelodi Sundowns. The game started and it didn't flow the way it usually flows for Mamelodi Sundowns. We understand it's the beginning of the season. Polokwane City as well. They did not. Many teams when they face Mamelodi Sundowns, they opt for the almost obvious, which is to defend, because there aren't so many teams in South African football that can take Mamelodi Sundowns pound for pound. It's difficult to take on this Mamelodi Sundowns head on. You see most teams opting to go for a defense and trying to frustrate Sundowns to a point where they then get a chance and take it and go for a counter attack and so on. Hoping for stuff like that. We saw Sundowns going last season, going for almost the whole season unbeaten until the very last game when they lost 1-0 to Cape Town City. Many teams opt to defend against Sundowns. It's not easy to defend against this Mamelodi Sundowns, but Polokwane City almost pulled it off. They almost pulled it off. If we are to be honest, though, Sundowns could have killed the game in the first half. We saw Peter Shalulile hitting the post twice. We saw him missing and what we would refer to as a sitter, and a very easy chance that under normal circumstances he would have buried it. I think Sundowns could have easily killed this game in the first half if the chances that they got would have been had they converted those chances. So other than that, the game was not as free flowing as we usually expect these Sundowns especially to play. But Polokwane City did what most teams do against Mamelodi Sundowns. But we have to also look at the fatigue. The players, most of them from both sides, they got tired even before the extra time. They got tired in the middle of the game. If I have to be honest, I was concerned with the shape of most of the Polokwane City players. Some of them don't look in good shape for the beginning of the season. Chauke if he was at his best shape, I think he would have caused even more problems for Mamelodi Sundowns. He got so many chances. There were chances where he was clear. He could have just gone for the kill, but he had to track back a little bit and try to find support because he doesn't have the pace, and that also has to do with the shape and also the fitness. The fitness of most of the players is not up to standard. It is to be expected, of course, at the beginning of any season. It's like that. Even on the Sundowns side, we saw there were many heavy legs, especially in the second half. Otherwise, it's a normal Sundowns. Even though it's a new era from Mangoba Mngcuti, it's a new era of Mamelodi Sundowns. We expected Sundowns to continue where they left off, to dominate position, to cause problems for any opponents that they come across. But Polokwane City held their own for a long time in the game, and also the type of play we haven't really seen much of a change. We've seen the Sundowns going for the 3-5-2, which changes in the middle of the game to become a 5-3-2, depending on whether they're defending or they're attacking. But Sundowns are attacking most of the time. So most of the time, it's a Sundowns that is bombarded and packed with a lot of midfielders who are also ball players. It was nothing different again this time around. So that's why I'm saying we should give credit to Polokwane City for holding their own and taking this team to the extra time, where even the scoring did not come through. We know Sundowns to be a free scoring team, a team that gets goals from anywhere in the field, but they struggled in this particular game to get goals, and they even had to get a goal via an own goal from Polokwane City. Unlucky Polokwane City after such an effort. When you play against Mamelodi Sundowns and you take them to extra time and you restrict them from scoring and they can't score, you as a team in South Africa, many teams would feel that they've done a lot, and indeed they've done a lot. That's a very strong Mamelodi Sundowns team. Took years to build. Even if they change a coach, there isn't much that has changed in terms of the manpower and the personnel that they have there. That is why I'm saying that it takes a very strong team to take these Sundowns to extra time. But like I said, many of the players are not in their regular shape. Their fitness levels are still they still leave a lot to be desired. We expect most of these teams to get better as the time goes by, as the season gets older. So we expect better football towards as time goes on. But I have to say, one of the things that worried me with Polokwane City, this is professional football. We see a team that plays professional football wearing an unbranded kit, which signals that they don't have a technical sponsor, and also they don't seem to have any sponsorship of any sort. All you see on their kit, on the jersey, is the MTN8 logo together with the Polokwane City logo, which means Polokwane City are running the team without sponsorship. They also don't have a technical sponsorship like your kitwear sponsorships, the likes of Nike, Kappa, Adidas, or whoever. They seem to have no one. I don't know much about that, but it doesn't look right for a team that plays its football in the top league in the country. We expect that every team should have sponsorship. We know in the PSL recently, sponsorships have been hard to come by. It also raises a lot of questions in terms of the inequality of teams in the PSL. I'm no longer talking about the game, I'm just talking about what I saw on the field of play. That really doesn't look right when you look at it from the professional eye. And we also saw the Polokwane City head coach, I think they have a co-coach. They have two head coaches there, a system which we started seeing from Sundowns. We see other teams also following through. We saw a coach taking a call during the game. I don't know whether he was talking to someone who was advising them based on their vantage point. The level of technology is not the same. Like we've just explained in terms of the kind of technology. You look at the Sundowns bench, they have an iPad that they're looking at, analyzing the game while they're also looking at the game in real time. On the other hand, you have a Polokwane City where a head coach is on the phone talking to someone who seems to be trying to influence the game as well. It doesn't look right. If we are going to take back South African football to the level where it used to be, where teams are almost at an equal level in terms of resources and opportunities, a whole lot has to change. You have a team that has just earned close to R1 billion last season, facing a team that is being run on a shoestring budget. A team that has no technical sponsor, plays in an unbranded kit, and that team still manages to take a well-resourced, a well-oiled machine like Mamelodi Sundowns to extra time, and they stop them from scoring. They end up scoring an own goal from their own mistake. That says a lot. That says a lot if this team was to be well-resourced. So we need a PSL league. When the league starts, we need a league that's going to be more competitive, even in terms of resources. That doesn't look good. If you saw what I'm talking about in the field, you'd understand what I'm talking about. There's a serious inequality in the PSL as it is now. But big ups to Polokwane City for the shift they've put in there, taking the game all the way to extra time. And also congratulations to Mamelodi Sundowns. And we know Sundowns, that was not their best Sundowns play that we know. We know they are capable of doing much more. We expect them to do even more. There isn't much that I can say in terms of what to look forward to in the next season. Of course, we saw with Pirates, it was easy to talk about them because we saw them at Orlando Stadium when they played Super Sports United. It was a little bit easier to read the game because it was a free-flowing game. Of course, it was not the best of free-flowing games that we've seen, but it was a typical Pirates and Super Sports game. But when you look at the Sundowns and Polokwane City game, this is not the Sundowns that we are used to. We understand we have a new head coach at the helm. We have a new system they're trying to introduce there. So we expect them a few changes there, and we don't expect them to hit the ground running. But this being Mamelodi Sundowns, the expectations are high. Now, getting into the draw, we saw a draw between which puts Mamelodi Sundowns against Stellenbosch FC and also Orlando Pirates against Cape Town City. So you have these two Gauteng teams versus the Cape Town teams between Stellenbosch and the Western Cape teams between Stellenbosch and Cape Town City. And I'm actually happy to see Stellenbosch against Mamelodi Sundowns. I know Steve Barker. Even if it was Sundowns versus, if it was to be Sundowns versus Cape Town City, it would have been an even nicer fixture, because we saw what Cape Town City did to Mamelodi Sundowns when they were trying to go for the invincibility last season, and they lost to Cape Town City right at the end with Coach Eric Tintler there. But we also expect Steve Barker to give us a very good game between Mamelodi Sundowns and Stellenbosch FC. I would have actually preferred to see Pirates and Sundowns in the semi-final so that we get a new final. I mean, we saw the past couple of seasons, we saw Mamelodi Sundowns and Orlando Pirates in finals. So I just would like to see other teams as well. But I guess it is what it is right now. They are the two teams that are currently dominating, and also the likes of Cape Town City and Stellenbosch all filling in the gaps there in terms of the pedigree that they bring to cup competitions. We know Stellenbosch, they've won their own trophy as well last season. We saw also Cape Town City doing what they were the unthinkables in the league. So this is a well balanced last four in the MTN 8, I think. Whoever goes to the finals is going to be an entertaining final. But I think at this point many people are expecting Mamelodi Sundowns and Orlando Pirates in the finals. But the beauty of football is that it's not always predictable. What the obvious is not always so obvious. Today could have gone either way for Mamelodi Sundowns and Polokwane City. Polokwane City, if they had taken their chances, they could have also won the game. And also Sundowns could have also killed the game in the first half. So yeah, it is what it is. Thank you so much once again for making time for our post-match reactions here on Fans Corner. We see you again next time. Hopefully by the time when the season starts, we would see some teams playing some more eye-catching football out there. Once again, thank you for making time.